Good morning, gang, and welcome to a new work week. We are into Tuesday now, head first, and it is a pleasure to have you on board. Looks like mostly cloudy skies, at least for the morning. Maybe some rain showers developing for the afternoon. I think Roger Hill was saying sometime around 5 o'clock or so-ish around the central Vermont area. Hopefully Lily's game won't be called off, but we'll see. 74 degrees for the daytime high today. Looks like tonight, cloudy skies, 53. Still a slight chance for some rain showers. And we're going to say partly sunny tomorrow on Wednesday, especially toward the later part of the day. Highs around 68. Pardon me. We have a Tuesday, again, that we are headfirst into right now. Chris Carteret, it has been a while since you were on the air with me, buddy. Welcome back to Aired Out.
Thanks. I'm so happy to be here.
Dude, I'm so happy to have you here. Last time we had a different configuration, different setup. I think you were sitting here. I was sitting over there on the other side.
Yeah.
But here we are, man. We're back.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's been a while. Man, when we hear the words Chris Carteret, I think many of us think of freezing fun for families. This is, you've been on a couple of times. I remember when we first got started with Aired Out over at the TV station.
Yep. Yeah, we did a TV broadcast.
Yeah, it was me, you, Corey.
That was it, yeah.
It was the three of us?
Yep.
All right. God, that was, 6 years ago, something like that.
It was a while ago. Yeah, I think we were amping up for the 20th year then.
For the 20th year? Oh, my God. All right, so here we are getting ready to celebrate. Well, we're celebrating now.
Yeah.
The 25th anniversary.
Yeah, the 25th year. I can't believe it. 25th year that we've been able to run this organization and donate money to people who really need it.
Folks that are just tuning in from either here in Vermont who are not familiar with what this is all about, or tuning in from elsewhere. What is Freezing Fun for Families Winter Co-ed Softball Tournament?
Yeah. So the first thing I want to say is that Freezing Fun for Families is way more now than a winter softball tournament. But so our mission is to alleviate the stress and financial hardship of families in Vermont battling childhood cancer. But what that really means is that we want to play an integral role in making people who find out that they have a diagnosis of cancer in a child have a little less stress, a little less, how am I going to pay my cell phone bill, or how am I going to, do this thing or get to this treatment or something like that. So our goal is really to be like, hey, you know what? We're going to help you with the money part so you can focus on the getting better part.
So it was the inception of this was Cass Presad.
Yep. Yeah, Cass and Shelley. And the first year, it's funny, the first year that they did it, they were like, hey, we want to raise some money to pay for our summer league softball. And so they did that the very first year. They wanted to raise money to play summer league softball. And then Cass said, holy cow, we got something here. Like, this could be big things. And so they kind of morphed and they started raising money to help families with cancer. And here we are.
So was it Cass's idea to say, hey, let's do this first year and let's play it during the winter?
Yeah. So they wanted to do They did a winter fundraiser for their summer softball league. And, you know, as far as I know, it was supposed to be a one and done. They were just going to raise a couple bucks, you know, have some fun times, take all their summer softball players and bring them back to the winter, get together and have a good time. And then realized, holy cow, this can be something.
Well, you say one and done. I mean, look at Bikers for Beth.
Right.
That was supposed to be a one and
Yeah,
done.
absolutely. And guess who's involved with those guys? I mean, it's the same group of people, man. It's the same, you know, heroes in our community.
And here they are going, they just completed year number 16.
Yeah.
Isn't that remarkable? I mean, when you think about, I mean, we can sit and talk numbers all day, just numbers of what's been raised from both of those events. But so far beyond numbers, when you think of the lives that it has changed.
Yeah. And I would, you know, let your viewers know that the lives that it's changed, right? Obviously it's changed the lives of the beneficiaries and the folks that see the actual financial impact they get, you know. But I'm here to tell you, you know, as a personal story, I'm a different person than I would have been had I not been involved in both Bikers for Beth and Freezing Fun for Families. And I'm a small chasm in this huge picture of what these organizations have done and are going to continue to do for our community.
It's a great, that's a great testament right there. And you say small chasm. I mean, you look at all the other people that have been involved, not just the beneficiaries, but the folks that have not only organized a team and played.
Right. We can't even talk about the people who organized the team. That'd be in the thousands. I mean,
this thing took off. It took off. It turned into, I don't know, an empire. It's massive. It's massive. And now there's, you know, now there is and has been a board of directors. Yep. I mean, this is something that is really huge and has garnered some big attention. And I think even nationally. I mean, we're talking Guinness Book of World Records too, right?
That's it. Yeah, I can't remember the year it was. I think it was 2009 was the Guinness World Record year. We had 72 teams set the world's record for the largest winter snow softball event in the world.
And who in the hell would want to play softball in the middle of the winter, especially in northern New England?
Yeah. God. This year wasn't terrible. This year there was no snow. So
yeah.
But you know, that's just one of the things you get when we play, and you know, you never know what you're going to get. It's part of the fun of being there. But you know, I've played and been around everything from 4 or 5 feet of snow on the Berrytown fields all the way to a mud bowl. And every single thing in between, rain, snow,
pouring
everything.
rain.
Sure.
Yes,
yeah,
you've seen it.
But the greatest thing about that is every single person that's up there is there to help.
Yes,
and there's nothing but smiles.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's nothing but, you know, wanting to give back and wanting to share and just wanting to be there to help people that they've never met and they probably never will.
Yes, exactly.
And that's,
so many friendships have been developed and fostered throughout all of these years.
Yeah. It's been
decades now.
Yeah. I've met some of the best people I'll ever meet, I'm sure.
So you were committee chair. Now that baton has been passed to Wendell Morris.
Yeah, Wendell's a longtime volunteer. He started back when Shelly and Cass were doing it. And him and his wife, Judy, have been involved for many, many years. And I came in and I was the chair for 5 years. And then, you know, we kind of decided, hey, let's, you know, I grew us a little bit. And I was like, let's see if somebody else can grow us a little bit more. And, you know, Wendell raised his hand and, you know, new hero in the books.
Wow. And has been with you since you said the start, like the beginning?
He's been there since, if not the first year, the first couple years. So he's been doing it for over 20 years.
What about Corey Touchette?
Corey Touchette is, you know, a legend among men as far as I'm concerned. Yes. And, you know, he would probably, you know, hate me for saying that, but he's a mentor of mine. And, you know, he's given a lot of opportunity. He's raised our organization from one that emptied the coffers every year in hopes of, you know, giving $3,000 or $4,000, sometimes $8,000 or $9,000 to families, to being able to guarantee our awards every year, even through COVID. And he's also started, so we went from 2 awards to 4. And then he also started another program called the Connor Drury Fund.
Yes.
And,
Forgot about that.
yeah, so he's taken what was a softball tournament and turned it into an organization that will be sustainable.
I remember, like it was yesterday, when Cass was basically like, "Look, I gotta step aside here.
Yep.
This thing is too big. It's demanding too much." And Corey was right there saying, "I got this. I'll take the wheel." I remember that so well, and I also remember when he was launching the Connor Drury Fund and the excitement and passion behind that. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so the Connor Drury Fund is a fund that we developed in order to give, a quick influx of cash to families, kind of the moment that they hear of their diagnosis.
Yep.
So when they first learn of their diagnosis, we will give them, it's a $250 grant that they can have for, whatever. It's just, essentially we just give them cash and say, here, hopefully this helps you a tiny bit on your brand new road, whether it's, paying a cell phone bill or whether it's buying McDonald's on the way to treatment or whatever it is.
Exactly. And who is Connor Drury?
So Connor Drury was a past beneficiary. I can't remember the year. And his parents are the ones that worked with Corey and kind of said, hey, we would like to do this and we'd like to, keep his name involved in the organization forever. And so that's kind of how that happened.
I'm guessing that you have had survivors and families of survivors, and also family members of folks that have lost their battle with cancer, that have gravitated toward this event and been part of the it's a family.
Yep.
It's a family.
So yeah, we actually have every year a team that comes up, and they're the Jazzies. This year it was actually a team called Young Guns, and on the back of their shirt they wore Jazzy, #Jazzy, and that was for another beneficiary. And there's some along the way and some throughout the years that we've lost beneficiaries before the event or just after the event, or sometimes really close to the event. But that just makes it more important for us to keep doing what we're doing, right? And one of the things, our hashtag is #WeAreFamily, and we truly believe that. But one of our other things that we believe in and say a lot to each other is, until there's a cure, there's Freezing Fun for Families. And it just, I'm getting goosebumps over here just thinking about the families that we've had contact with and been around and seen some of the strongest people I've ever met that were 4 years old and just going through the battle of their lives, and it's a lot.
Have you had beneficiaries come back, beat cancer, and play in the tournament?
I know that we've had beneficiary families that have beat cancer. I am fairly certain that we've had them play in the tournament, but I can't specifically recall. I'm thinking of two different individuals that I think both did play. They both certainly came back and they were involved. One of them her name was Stella, and she was a beneficiary when she was 15, and she's been back to kind of be involved still with the event. And so that's really nice to see too. But speaking of that, volunteering is always, that's our entire organization from the board down. Our softball committee, our executive director, our board, none of us take any money. None of us want any money. The entire purpose of our organization is to do everything we can to give the awards back, to give the money back. And so that being said, we have very low overhead costs. and we have no payroll costs, and we, so all the money, if you donate to Freezing Fund for Families, I guarantee you that money's going to help somebody.
Isn't that amazing? When you stop and think about 25 years that this has been going on, and just like I have to bring this back up. I mean, just like Bikers for Beth. I mean, these are two events that take place that really hang their hat on the fact that, man, we keep every dime going. Grassroots effort.
Yep.
The ultimate grassroots effort going to the beneficiary or beneficiaries.
Absolutely.
That's unbelievable, man. It's like I can't think of all of the things that we've promoted over the years and talked about. I can't think of one other than these two that is able to do that. I mean, that's really remarkable.
And I'll say, I mean, I'm not taking away anything from any of the other great organizations out there that donate money, but we've kind of made it our mission that, and some people say, well, you guys are, raising more money than you're giving out. If you look at our books, we raise more money than we give out. And the explanation that I'd like your viewers to know and for everybody to know is one day we might not be able to have a softball event, right? There might not be softball players. There might not be volunteers, but there's always going to be beneficiaries.
Sure.
And so under Corey's leadership, we're creating a softball endowment so that no matter what, for the rest of time, our organization will be able to continue to churn out donations every single year in perpetuity, even if there's not an event.
Wow. Well said. We're going to talk, obviously, about what's coming up, year number 8 of the golf tournament, and how this thing has a winter co-ed softball tournament that has turned into something that's throughout the whole year here. But big good morning coming in from Cliff Fleury this morning.
Oh, Cliff.
Cliffy's a great guy. Tell me, let's throw some love at Cliff.
You know what?
How could you not?
How could you not? He's one of the best. He's been involved with Freezing Fun too. And when he was working over at the tire place, he did a fundraiser on his own, just to say, hey, I want to help out. And let me tell you, he's a Montpelier Solon, and we played in a championship game together in 1999 where they beat us pretty badly, but I'll forgive him for that. And he's
how bad?
But I don't even want to talk about it, Jenny. It was
bad.
It was bad.
Was there blood?
There may have been blood, but there was, I'm going to guess somewhere in the neighborhood. I'm sure Cliff will remember, but I'm sure somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 or 50 points in between us.
Woo. Ouch. Yeah. That's just spanking.
Yeah, it was something else. But you know what? Sharing the field with him, sharing life with him. Yeah. Cliff is one of the best, and I got nothing but love for that guy.
Yeah, he's amazing. Is he an okay softball player too?
I
mean, he's a great guy.
I haven't seen him up on the field much, digging in and throwing the ball around, but he helps out in the ways he can, so we'll keep him around.
He's a big dude too.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this golf tournament. I can't believe that this is, and I just asked you before we went hot, what year is this? Year 8.
Year 8 for them, and
I remember when Corey was saying we're thinking about having a golf tournament.
Yeah. And the thing about that is that's the sleeper event of our organization. They really are, an amazing part of what we do. This year, their goal is to raise $35,000 just for them. So the event is October 4th. They've developed a great partnership with Barry. So the event's going to be at the Country Club of Barry. Yep. And this year they've set the lofty goal of, raising $35,000 for the organization, which if they're able to do that guarantees us our entire beneficiary payouts before we even throw a pitch.
Wow.
So they're doing some great stuff.
You guys have created a monster here.
It's good. It's the best kind of monster you could have.
Isn't this something else? I mean, can you imagine if every state in America had an event like this?
It'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
I've had, I know you have too. I know you've probably had many more conversations about this than I have, but I've had conversations with with friends who don't believe that there will ever be a cure for cancer. And I've also had conversations with folks that believe that the cure for cancer is and has been right in front of our noses and still is today. And it's essentially, I don't want to say an easy fix, but the answers lie in front of us. And for multiple reasons, we're not able to grasp them or move forward with them. Have you ever had conversations like this?
So we've had a lot of conversations surrounding this kind of stuff, and I'll tell you, at least from the organizational perspective and where I sit and what I'm doing, for Freezing Fun, if there's a cure, awesome. If it's not available, if it's widely available, that's even better. If there's not a cure, we're here anyway. If there is a cure, we're here anyway.
Yeah.
And, it's what I will say is that, whether there's a cure out there or not, with the advancements that we've seen in medical science in our lives,
Yeah.
Life extension is something that's at least been able to happen. And at the end of the day, what my bigger concern, right, is the sphere that I can control. And
Right.
what I can do right now is, help control how much money we can raise and how much people we can help with that money.
Sure. And that's you that's saying that, and that's many others that are on the board, and frankly, I think maybe even every single player that's out on the
100%.
out on the field.
100%. I guarantee it.
It's always what now? The first weekend in March?
The first weekend in March. So this year's event actually starts on February 28th, March 1st and 2nd. So it's that weekend. Usually the weekend right around the spring break for school.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when we're doing this year.
And let's tell folks that are watching, listening out of state, that's very much the dead of winter up here.
Yeah.
That is not like when you hear the word March, don't be thinking, flowers and whatnot. I mean, that's it's bad cold, man.
This past year was a complete anomaly with what we had. But like I was saying before, I've seen it's always been the first weekend in March, and I've seen 4 or 5 feet of snow.
Yes.
Out, so it's
I want to ask you about that. You've and for other listeners and viewers that have partaken, you've seen, you and Corey and everyone have seen nor'easters.
Yeah, nor'easters. I think one year we almost saw a hurricane, like the
I
sideways blowing rain.
I remember that one. I remember Corey talking about that one. That you guys have had stupid cold, like crazy. Like nobody should be outside.
Negative 20, 25 degree weather, playing at midnight, and the whole thing. The one thing I will say is, and I hate to bring up COVID, but that helped us reorganize our fundraising strategy. So now, essentially, JD, and this is a crazy little fact. So, we used to have 50, 60, 70 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in the 15 to 25 to 30 team range.
Mm-hmm.
We'd really like to get up to 30 again, but we're, 15 to 25 team range. And our last 2-3 years consecutively have been our top fundraising years at the event. Because what we've done is we've developed a drive and desire and a want for, right, we have teams that their goal isn't to win the softball event. Their goal is to raise the most money.
Yeah.
And I'm super thankful that one of the teams that I played on for many years and that my sister and I started is one of those teams. So the We Freeze Ours to Kick Yours, I think we've talked about them before.
Yes.
And essentially what they do is they spend, 6 months going around to local organizations in the area and getting $100, $200, $300, $500 donations. And, and then they turn in their donations and they give us $10,000, $8,000, $9,000 every year. And the proudest thing about the We Freeze Ours, and I know that I don't want to get too much into it, but we're in the second generation of that. So it's like my daughter plays on the team now. And, one of my great friend, Bubba, Brad Herring, his boy plays in the team with all the Spalding football players. And, it's just like the second generation of the whole event. And it's come around, and it's just so cool to see the younger kids getting involved and being, there for it too.
I want you to mention some of the community support you've received in way of sponsorships and financial backing and support here. But I also want you to take us through, like, what's a typical, how does it start? There's some structure to this. Logistically, you guys have had to really sit down, sharpen your pencils, and resharpen them every year and get this well organized and structured. How do things begin? There's opening ceremonies.
So
and kudos to Barrytown Rec up there in the school for flicking the lights on at that time of year.
Yeah, so they've been a huge partner for us, Barrytown, as well as the Public Works. Have been huge helps with snow removal and getting us cones and setting up barriers and plowing the parking lot and doing all those things. But
not plowing the field though.
No. Leave the snow all in the field. In fact, take the snow from the driveway and put it onto the field.
Ouch.
So the weekend of the event basically starts for the volunteers around 9 a.m. on Friday, and that's 14 hours before the event starts.
Yeah.
And so we get there, and then we have. We have to set up lights, organize trash, organize porta potties, get food set up, get tent set up, start to organize our clothes and all that stuff. And so that takes from about, 8 to 9 a.m. until about 4 p.m. And then we do first pitch usually at 5:45. And then we'll have games. They're 45-minute games.
This is a Friday.
This is Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have 45-minute games, and we'll do probably 8 to 10 games Friday night. On 3 fields, 2 fields, depending on what we need for the particular size of the event that weekend. And then we close everything up usually around 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And then the volunteers will be back up at the fields getting set up at 8 o'clock the next morning for a 9:30 first pitch. And then we run from 9 until noon on Saturday. And then we have one of the coolest events that I think we have, which is our annual Home Run Derby.
My God.
And I'll say you don't have to play in the event to be involved in the Home Run Derby.
I absolutely love it.
And I've been really
we want to come up for that. We want to be up there.
Please do, because it's super fun. I could use an extra person to help me heckle the people.
Please.
Because I've been up there, for the last couple.
You?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can go up there and heckle some folks, and it's a great fun. And it's $10 to enter that, and you get 10 pitches, and the person who hits the most home runs, gets a little trophy, and all the money goes into the coffers to help out. And then we start games back up at 2 or 3 p.m. and then run games until we have, I think, 4 teams left usually. So that takes us to 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. And then we're back up.
We're still on Saturday.
Saturday. Yep.
Okay.
And then we're back up on Sunday morning. And we have the
finals.
The final games. So usually the semifinals and the finals will happen on Sunday. Our final game usually starts either 11:15 or noon. And then after that, all the volunteers stay and break everything down. And then, we'll go home. I got home this year around 5 or 6 p.m. So
On a Sunday night.
Sunday night. Yeah.
Do you take Monday off from work?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. My God, you got to be just cold and exhausted.
Yeah, and I will say that, some of us stay there the whole weekend. Like I don't leave the tournament. So there's a camper that we sleep in up there that's graciously donated every beer from Meckelson's.
Yeah.
And so when I get there at 9 a.m. on Friday, the next time I get in my car and leave is 7 p.m. on Sunday.
You must have just duffel bags and duffel bags of dry underwear, dry socks, a whole complete change of clothes. You must.
Yeah, I have more outside clothes than I ever thought I would need. But yeah.
God. Do you? I know we have to talk about sponsors and community support, but I'm sitting here, and I think I know the answer to this. But the balls are basically like a fluorescent color.
Yep.
So that you can see them.
People in the softball community refer to them as softies.
Softies.
Yep.
Okay. When a softie hits 2-3 feet of snow,
yeah,
and disappears under the snow, are you allowed to still run for the next base?
Some of the best home runs that I've ever seen went somewhere between 6 and 8 inches from home base. Because if you hit a screaming line drive that goes directly down into the snow, sometimes that thing could be 4 or 5 feet away from where it went in and 3 feet under the snow.
So people are frantically digging.
Yep. It looks like a bunch of dogs out there throwing snow around. Yeah. Digging big holes. It's hilarious. And there's some people that actually choose the glove that they wear because it's the biggest glove in their bag and they can move the most snow with it when they scoop. Has nothing to do with actually touching the ball with the glove.
God.
Yeah.
So we've had some great plays that not necessarily great hits, but we've had some great plays.
Sure.
With the snow helping them out.
I can remember, JD, when I was playing, having, a bunt hit that went, 2 feet in front of me. And I fell 3 times going up the base path, slipped or tripped and fell in the snow and ended up crawling to first base and still was safe because they couldn't find the ball. And it took me, I'm not a small guy. It took me probably a minute to get down to first base. And so it's some of the things. And then you'll see, other times you'll see amazing double plays or like real softball plays too that just blow your mind.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Diving catches
all day. Yep.
Face full of snow.
For sure. And come up with a big old smile. Yeah.
Snow down the jersey.
If there's a place for snow to be,
it's gone there.
It's gone there for sure. Yeah.
That's the line of the day. That's fantastic, man. Is there an age limit to play?
So it's 16 years old is the young age limit, and the old age limit, I guess, depends on your intelligence level.
Yes.
Right. And I say that some of the smartest people I know play in real high levels, but I will be really honest with you. I was smart enough to retire from playing snow softball and still volunteer. So if there's folks out there that are smart enough to not play in the winter but still want to volunteer, reach out because we got a job for you.
And we're going to make sure that folks know how to get in touch with you here before we wrap. But what do you do now? Now you're not the committee chair. You're just a measly old volunteer. What do you do? You're still doing a lot, bro.
Yeah. So we'll set up lights. We'll set up the fields. We'll be there to answer questions. If there's a question comes up about a rule or a call or something, 99% of the time the players take care of that. But in the 1% of the time they come over, we get together as a team and figure out what we want to do. And then there's, obviously, as well-oiled as we are, there's still some hiccups. And so we're always there to, reset up a tent or, we have to move a field because it's a little bit too unsafe to play or, it got icy or something like that. And so we're just there for the weekend. And then a lot of it, I'll be honest with you, is, talking to people, getting our image out there, getting our information out there.
Yes.
Because some folks come up there and they're like, hey, you know, my somebody in my company got my company to donate $300, and they all told us we had to show up here at 6 p.m. I don't even know why I'm here, and so I'll spend time talking to them about that.
You've had players come from. This is not just a little Central Vermont thing.
No, not at all.
You've had players and teams come from representing different businesses or just friends from afar.
Yeah, so just what I know of, right? New York, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Montreal. We're international.
It's not amazing.
You know, and then outside New England, there was some players that came up from Georgia that were playing on a team that was out of New Hampshire. And so it's just, you know, we just want everybody to come and experience it, because it's, you know, at the end of the day, we're raising money, but man, it's an experience.
Yeah.
Right? Like, where else can you do this?
Right. And I know that you've had people, because Corey's told me, that don't know anything about this.
For sure.
They're coming up to Central Vermont from out of state somewhere, that maybe they're skiing or whatever, and they come up and they're like,
what are these crazy dudes doing?
What the hell are these people doing up there? If they all lost their goddamn minds. They're playing softball, and the wind is whipping, the snow is coming down, you can't see anything. It's stupid cold. Or it's pouring rain in the mud.
Yeah, the most common question I get is, there's an arena big enough in Vermont to do an indoor softball tournament?
Yeah.
And my favorite answer is no.
Have you had fun in the mud, though? You've had a couple of
great.
Of good games in the mud.
Every year has been awesome for its own. You know, I remember one of the years that I played. It was really warm. There was a lot of snow, so I remember it specifically. I was wearing winter boots, shorts, a T-shirt,
love it,
and a winter hat. And my goal for that particular weekend was to see how many high fives I could get. Just, you know, at that time there was, 65 teams. There's thousands of people up there, and it was just, it was great to be up there with all my friends and all my new friends, and raising money and having a great time, and logging in a couple thousand high fives.
How many times have you been sick after the Freezing Fun for Families Winter Co-ed softball tournament? Like flu, like you're bad, or at least a good cold?
I've been certainly tired for days. I don't know that I would attribute being sick to Freezing Fun, but definitely there's been some, exhaustion and some, holy cow, maybe I shouldn't go to work for a second day. Like, maybe I should lay in bed for a little bit longer.
Arthritis?
I have arthritis, but I don't think it's related to.
All right.
But
come on, man. The bones got to get stiff after doing this.
But the bones get stiff, but the heart gets full.
Yeah,
so
sure.
And I know that sounds super corny, but
no.
At the end of the day, JD, that's it.
It's so true, though.
Yeah, I'll deal with the pains and the aches and the cold and all that stuff, because I know what I'm there for.
Businesses.
There's a ton
that are officially sponsors, and I might even say unofficially.
Yeah. So a lot of the businesses that we work with, they don't necessarily want to be in the limelight.
Right.
Right. They just want to, do their thing, help us out.
Sure.
And we'll go about it. But so I was putting a list together last night of the ones that I could think of that, have helped us out over the years. And we're talking 25 years. So I know I'm going to miss, a lot of them. But the ones that are the ones that stick out to me, right? National Life has been a huge sponsor. And these are in no particular order, but and they've all been huge sponsors. But Community National Bank has been there. They're one of the main sponsors in the golf tournament. Casella Waste Management, Pike Industries, AmeriGas, all these local companies, the Vermont National Guard, just donating all their time, their money, and different tents. So the National Guard has been involved with us. They set up the tents so that we can, warming tents and all that stuff. And Benoit Electric comes up and makes sure we have power in those tents. Wind River Environmental, they've been donating porta potties for years. The Vermont ATV Sportsmen's Association donates, side-by-sides for us to get around. Jockey Hollow Catering, Meckelson's RV we talked about. The ones that don't maybe get a whole lot of stuff, but like Tournament Designs and Granite City Graphics are both local companies that do design work and T-shirts and mugs and cups and stuff. And so the cups that we have come from them, and all of our product that we sell comes from Tournament Designs, and even as far as things like 802 Cornhole, right?
Yeah.
They did a cornhole event for us last year. I mean, the Barrytown Rec Department we talked about, Public Works, the Vermont Lake Monsters this year is a new partner that I'm super excited about. And I'd like to talk, on July 14th, they are going to host a baseball game to benefit Freezing Fun for Families. And so $4 from every ticket sold will go back to Freezing Fun for Families that night. And they're offering a discounted rate for anybody who buys a ticket through the Freezing Fun for Families. So, the Country Club of Barrie has been there, and then to think about things like all the teams that get sponsors, right?
Right.
I mean, so those are just the ones that I could think of that have a specific thing that they do for the organization. And that doesn't count things like Concord Insurance Group, who's one of our top financial sponsors from New Hampshire, who they come every year and, donate $9,000, $10,000, $11,000 every year. They have a team, and the We Freeze and the Young Guns and all these other teams that just raise all this money, and all these sponsors that frankly don't get the credit that they deserve, but they get the credit that they probably want, because they're not in it for being the stars in the show. They're in it to help out. So there's been thousands of sponsors over the years, and those are just a few, and some of the amazing things they've done.
What about beneficiaries? How and when?
Yeah.
And who decides who the beneficiaries are? And when is this decided? And is it more than one beneficiary? I think we know the answer to that.
Yeah. So let me tell you, JD, this is the toughest part of this whole job. Is this whole organization is, there's so many people that need help, right? Our goal is to help everybody we can, but in order to do that, we have to, maybe reduce the awards or something like that. And we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we're giving people, money that can be really impactful. So anyway, the nomination window opens up November 1st. And then you have to nominate somebody. You can go to our website, freezingfunforfamilies.com. And you can submit a nomination there. You can also do it through our Facebook page. So those are kind of the two main areas that we accept nominations. And basically what we're going to want is to know, the name of the contact person. And if you go to their website, it has all the, the things you want to fill out, but a little blurb about the person so that we can start to reach out to get information. And then we go through, once we get all the nominations, we go through and we start to look at them and contact people and, get more information and find out as much as we can about each individual that's been nominated. And then our committee sits down and we go through all those nominations and we figure out, what we can do for them, what awards that they've gotten, what awards we can give them. So it's a lot. And right now our program, we do two $10,000 awards each year, the softball awards. And then we have a board of directors award. And then the past couple of years, we've also done, in addition to the Drury Fund, the Drury family also has the Drury Family Award that we've been giving out too. So that's in addition to the Connor Drury Fund that we have established. So right now we give out 4 major awards a year, hoping to expand that, and we do everything we can. Like this year, for instance, we worked it out. We had 5 beneficiaries that were nominated, and so we're certainly not going to select one out. So we figured out how to get some more money, and we did 5 awards this year. And that's the hardest part, is if you have to tell somebody no. And so our goal is to hopefully never have to do that.
I'm sitting here listening to you, and you know that everyone knows this. I mean, even folks that have great insurance doesn't scratch the surface of financially of the impacts that they're going to be up against fighting cancer.
Because insurance, right? Insurance helps medical costs, but it doesn't help you pay your mortgage.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
and so many families
Or allow for time away from work
Right.
or whatever.
and so many families have to make the impossible decision to like have one of their family members, one of the parents quit their job
Sure.
to stay home because of the child. And I say it's an impossible decision. It's the easiest decision you'll ever make,
Right.
but it's an impossible decision when it comes to financial responsibility.
Yeah.
And so, you know, cancer doesn't care
Yeah.
how much money you make or what your insurance is or any of that stuff.
Or how much the medications
Right.
cost.
Or how much anything
I
is.
mean,
Or,
just the price tag for some of these medications that insurance companies may or may not pick up or contribute towards.
yeah, it has a lot to do with what kind of service people can get nowadays is what the insurance companies will pick up. And, you know, I don't want to, you know, go into a tirade about insurance and all of that stuff.
I do. Yeah, but I hear you loud and clear.
It's huge, and anything we can do to help is really what it's about. If I can send a message to your viewers, it's, you know,
Yeah.
anything that you can do to help is going to help, and especially with an organization like ours or like Bikers for Beth, guarantee you that money's going to a good cause.
Yeah.
And guarantee you if you invest your money with us, you know.
And there have been families that are like, screw it, we're just we're going to go to Disney.
Yep. Yeah. And you
forget about the cost for hospitals and medications and whatnot. We're just going to go spend some.
And that's the beauty of how we give money, is we don't put any tags on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you want to go to Disney, do that, right? One year we raised money in 2008 to help develop the cancer radiation therapy unit at CVMC. So, you know, we're doing stuff more than, right, trying to help out with families too. So, and like in 2010, we raised money and partnered with Fecto Homes, and we built a house for somebody because they had a condition in the house that they were living in they couldn't go back to. So we partnered with Fecto's Homes and we built them a house. Like, and it's those things, and those things take the community, and those things
does
are,
that,
you know,
I mean, kudos to Fectos, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's like who does that? It's amazing.
yeah, Freezing Fun does, you know, and we're going to keep doing whatever we can. And one partnership that I forgot to mention, which if you have any listeners who are state employees, a super easy way to help out is we partnered with the Green Mountain United Way, and the state employees have a program called VT Shares. And basically what it does is a payroll deduction program that allows you to choose a charity that you want to donate money to, and it's direct withdrawal from your paycheck. So you don't even have to worry about it. And if you want to do $5 a month, that's $150 that year. You know, or $5 a paycheck gives you $150, I think, is what the math is. You know, somebody will check me on that, and I'm sure they'll tell me I'm wrong.
And
But
that's for folks that want to help out, want to be part of this, but maybe don't want to come up and freeze our asses off and playing softball in the snow.
yeah, and
Right.
you know, we have our donation button on our page, and but this, I was just wanted to mention that the VT Shares is a great way to do a payroll based donation that, you know, you can make some big bang for your buck.
And that's all through Green Mountain United Way.
Yep. Yeah. So the Green Mountain United Way partnered with the state of Vermont. So it's this particular program is for state of Vermont employees. So the VT Shares program, I think, is going to be active here soon, where there's a whole book. There's a ton of very worthy causes that you can donate to. And fortunately, Freezing Fun for Families is on there too, as one of them.
Are you a good golfer? Is Corey a good golfer? Who, if so, who's better between the two of you?
Oh, for crying out loud. I know how to spell the word golf.
Yeah.
I have a set of golf clubs, and I've been to a couple golf courses. You know, I go to a couple golf courses every year.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that's about the extent of my, I'm not sure there's a high enough handicap for me. But out of the two of us, Corey is certainly a golfer.
He is.
He won the tournament in its inaugural year. Okay. Him and his foursome won the event their first year.
Are there teams that are returning maybe this year that frankly suck and have no business being on a golf course?
So, I hate to be the spinner, but every team has a business being on the golf course when you're raising money.
Yes.
Right. So, and you know what? Somebody has to come in last.
Yes. Does Cliffy ever play golf? Does he get out there?
I'm not sure. You'd have to ask him. I haven't seen him up there, but
a little big for golf.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Golf is a sport that doesn't care how big you are. You can be bad at 5'2", 100 pounds, or you can be bad at 6'6", 350 pounds.
Again, October 4th
Yep.
at the Barrie Country Club with a hefty goal of $35,000 that you guys are trying to raise just for that golf. One day.
One day.
Woo.
Well, I mean, one day for the muggle.
Right.
But they're already working on it. The volunteer committee, the golf volunteer committee is already, hard at work getting sponsorships, and if you're interested in sponsoring a hole or that kind of thing, absolutely. If you want to put a team in, go to www.freezingfunforfamilies.com.
What's the deadline for that?
I'm not sure what the deadline is for a team. I think it's going to be until full, but get on it, because if we get 20 teams that come in now, then you're going to be out of luck and you won't be able to do it. But yeah, definitely, if you're a business that wants to sponsor a hole, reach out, and we can help make that happen.
Is there anything going on other than the golf tournament, between now and that last weekend in February, beginning of March?
So we have the Vermont Mountaineers partnership
on the 14th.
On July 14th. Yep, that's a 5:05 start. It's a home game, obviously, for them. And the cool thing about that, like I said, is that every $4 from every ticket sold that night is going to go to Freezing Fun for Families, which is huge. But yeah, so those are the things we have going on now. Yep, we have the two big things this summer, and then the event in March.
Okay. I know Corey's busy. I know he's working. Maybe we could get Corey in here to sit down with us.
I'd love it.
Before October.
Yeah, and can I drop one more number on you before we leave? I'm not exactly sure how much we have. But.
And before October, and also maybe right up against July 14th, but go right ahead.
So this is our 25th year, right, of Freezing Fun for Families.
Yes.
We've helped about 42 or so families, plus the Fecto home, plus the Cancer Radiation Treatment Center. We're looking at right now, there's some accounting questions from the first couple years, just because it's hard to keep track of money when you're giving it all away.
You're going to drop a monetary number total here?
I am, and then I'm also going to drop the number for what we're hoping to raise this year in our 25th year. So we are just north of $600,000 raised over the 25 years. And this year's got to be a big one, man. This year's got to be, it's 25 years, and so our goal for 25th year is $250,000 this year.
This year,
that's the goal, and we need everybody to help us get there, because this would be the single biggest year in our organization, and it would be able to make it so we can do so much good.
Is there a cap on the number of players and or the number of teams?
Never. I say that Corey's probably turning over in his boardroom right now, but I think
that was a fast never. I mean, you didn't even have to think about it.
Listen, if somebody says, Chris, I want to put in a team, I'm never going to say no. That being said, if we got up into the 50s or 60s, it's going to be a tough weekend, but we'll do it.
Well, you have done it.
We'll do it again, right? The Guinness World Record year, we had over 70 teams and made it work.
Who was it from the Guinness Book of World Records that came, and where did they come from?
I do not know.
But
I
they
was
were there, though.
They were there. Yep. Yeah, we had I remember they did a flyover. They had to do a flyover and take a picture of all the teams so that they could prove that they were all there. So it was huge. And then the 20th year, we also had North Star Fireworks came up and did a free fireworks show, and that was pretty cool.
What is and I'm curious, what is the Guinness Book comparing to? Where else are they doing this in the world?
So I think that's it's one of those things where there's nobody else crazy enough to do something like this. So
thank you.
So I know that we're the world's biggest, but we might also be the world's only.
Yeah. Just sickos up there in Vermont. They're all losing their freaking minds, going through 8 months of winter, freezing their asses off. They got to get outside and pretend that it's summer.
That's it. Yeah.
God. Wow, man. $250,000 goal.
That's the goal
for the 25th year. And you've got the golf tournament.
Yep.
You got the Lake Monsters game on July 14th.
Yep.
Golf tournament October 4th. But outside of that, you're just looking at people that can either get involved with the VT shares.
Yep, VT shares or single-time donations, or
right.
If you have an organization or a company that wants to be involved somehow, we'll make it happen. If you have a company that like the Lake Monsters that has events and you want to sponsor one in our name, certainly reach out and we can work with it on that. And we want to be visible and we want our mission to be out there because we believe in it, and we believe in this community, and we believe what we can do together.
Yeah, you guys are doing it, man. You still, how much longer are you going to be involved with doing this? You going to be an old hag out there at 80-something years old with your walker and your?
Never thought of an end date, because until there's a cure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm sure Corey. I'm sure Corey thinks the same way.
Yeah, I'm sure that roles will change over time.
Yeah.
Corey might not always be the executive director.
Sure.
But he is now, and he's leading us into the future.
Yeah.
And it's been great. So
he is such a great guy, and I hope that he comes in here soon.
We'll try to get that hooked up
before July if we can make that happen before that Lake Monsters game. And certainly before the golf tournament, because frankly, I want to find out if he's really that great of a golfer.
The best way you can find out if you don't if you don't have an opportunity to talk to him before is put a team in for the tournament.
Yeah, easy to do.
Easy to do. Just go to www.freezingfunforfamilies.com and click on our golf tab, and should be all in business, ready to go.
Brother, thank you so much for coming in here.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Great way to start out my week, man, with a full hour of hearing about Freezing Fun for Families and all the good that you guys are doing in our local community.
Thank you.
My man, anytime you can get in here, we got a microphone for you guys.
That's great.
And I look forward to it, man.
I've been told I have a voice for radio, so.
And I'll get up there I'll get up there to razz a little bit with you for the home run derby this year. That
sounds great.
Freaking blast! Yep. I would love to.
Absolutely.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
Bye.